So, I saw this drop late last night, but I had to go to sleep. I was resolved to do this pretty much as soon as I could today. By the time I got around to being able to sit down and record, I had 22 messages on Discord and a whole bunch more in my comments, and I even had some emails. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. This is the first 5 minutes of Angels of Death. And this is a pug. Yes. Alright, here we go. Now I'm going to watch it first, and then I'm going to talk after. So I'm just going to watch it straight through. Come here. Oof. Yeah.
We are the Emperor's will made flesh.
Tyranids. Woo! Shit. Oh, wow.
We are taken from the dust. Shed our weaknesses, our frailty.
Oh, I like it.
To become angels.
Whew. Oh, that looks awesome. Nice transition. Oh my god. This is going to be... So far, I'm liking everything I'm seeing. Oh, shit. Yeah, he's going through it. Yeah, he's going through it right now. Oh, God. The Black Rage is a bitch. If you guys don't know what that just was, I'll tell you in a few minutes.
In blood I am born. In battle do I live. In light do I rise. In darkness do I fall.
In blood will we be renewed.
Chaplain.
Honored Chaplain Raphael.
Ooh. Ooh. I fucking love that mask.
We are brothers before any other rank.
Is there something you wish of me?
Only to speak to a friend.
I have duties to attend.
Duties beyond this voluntary solitude.
There is nothing I would speak of, Chaplain. I will patrol the lower decks,
I was there to see you succeed in the trials. I watched as you became an angel in both heart and deed. Yet now I look upon a brother that would rather see me a stranger.
We were lost in the storms and are now trapped over this blighted world, kept from returning to blessed Baal. Do you not chafe at this inaction?
Did your service to the Death Watch make you nothing but a weapon, Kazarian? Can you no longer find peace, even here?
What more is a space marine than a sword against the dark? The galaxy burns. We face annihilation. I will not waste any more words.
That threat has always been, since mankind first dragged itself from the surface of Terra.
Talk to him.
But it is a threat we face together.
As you say.
This is really good. I want one. Oh my god. This is who I've been waiting to see. The actual shutting up, I'll bring it up later.
Summarize.
We still cannot reach Captain Orfeo or his retinue, Shipmistress. Signal distortion continues to increase within the planet's atmosphere. We were informed that the city at the base of the orbital tower is supposed to be deserted. There is nothing down there, at least nothing to delay the captain.
Open a Vox link to the orbital dock.
Yes, Shipmistress. Vox link established.
This is Captain Salkin of the Blood Angel strike cruiser Sword of Baal. Respond.
Ah! I want more. That's just right around the corner, too. Alright, so that was the first 5 minutes of Angels of Death. Now, there is a good amount of stuff in here to pretty much unpack. If you're unfamiliar with Warhammer 40k, if you saw this reaction video or just watching reaction videos, and it was a bunch of people who didn't know what they were looking at, let me give you some context real quick. Okay, so the puppies needed to go get some food, stuff like that. First thing to know is this is about the Blood Angels. And apparently, if you don't know that, welcome to 40k. The opening scene has this guy right here. He's fighting Gene Stealers, essentially. He's fighting the Tyranids. But the one thing I love the most here, that scene is fucking beautiful. This right here is called a Storm Bolter, so that means he's in Terminator plate. It doesn't look like Terminator plate, but I might be high as a kite. I don't know. He does look like he's taking a lot of damage. Now this right here, this part right here where the blood drop turns into a drop pod, I just love that. We're moving into the next part here. Now, you get this guy right here. Now, he seems to be having issues. And anybody familiar with the Blood Angels knows what kind of issues this guy is having. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know what all these flashes of red is, and who precisely... let me get the scene up. Who precisely is the figure in the red back there? The one that he seems to be seeing that's right back here. When the Blood Angels were fighting in the Horus Heresy, their Primarch boarded the leader of the traitor army, Horus Lupercal's flagship called the Vengeful Spirit. While their Primarch, the Primarch is essentially the guy who technically every one of the Space Marines can consider a Primarch their father. And the Blood Angels Primarch was Sanguinius. Now, that's the statue of the winged figure that he's kneeling in front of. Now, Horus killed Sanguinius in a extremely violent and brutal way. And the gene legacy of his children, in the terms of the Blood Angels, is to constantly fight off that gene memory. And it triggers something within the Blood Angels. It's a genetic defect that they are cursed with, essentially, as soon as they take on the gene seed to become an Astartes of the Blood Angels. This genetic defect causes them to enter something called the Black Rage, or at least to be fighting it the entire time they're alive. The Black Rage essentially turns into mindless berserkers, because all they're able to see and all they're able to witness is the final battle of the Horus Heresy on Terra, aka Earth itself. And finally, some of them experience the final battle. Others experience the actual death of Sanguinius at the hands of Horus, which it appears this guy is doing. Horus basically used psychic abilities and abilities from the powers that he served. At the same time, he was strangling Sanguinius. He wanted to make the death of Sanguinius as painful and as absolutely savage as he possibly could. Primarily, I think because of jealousy. We'll find out in the final couple of books. And it ran out. But we'll find out in the final couple of books. It's going to be a very tough scene to read because Sanguinius is one of the more noble Primarchs. And it's something I know coming is still going to affect me to read it because, you know, the Horus Heresy has been a very long book series for me. In any case, this figure here, that is actually a statue of Sanguinius. But moving on, if you need help with the Primarchs and everything like that, I'd recommend looking up some Baltimore's videos on that. I might do it one day. This guy right here, this fucking guy. Now, if you take a whole bunch of Space Marines together, you're talking some of the most disciplined warriors in the entire galaxy. The most disciplined, by no stretch of the imagination. Now, this guy right here with the skull mask and the inlaid eyes, this is called a chaplain. Now, a chaplain's primary mission is to make sure all of his Marines under his charge stay true to the edicts of the chapter. And pretty much, he's there to look after their mental well-being as well as their spiritual well-being. Early on in the chaplain program, in the way, way, way long ago, before the beginning of the Horus Heresy, the chaplains were offshoot of a Traitor Legion's idea. And they've just kind of stuck around because they actually do have a practical purpose in the modern Imperium, which is the government entity that these guys actually fight for. But the chaplain is there to make sure that this guy's all right. Sometimes some of those badass characters are chaplains. Grimald Darkus, I don't know why I say it like that. Grimaldus of the Black Templars being one of them. This guy right here, he knows that the Astartes he's talking to, the Blood Angel he's talking to, is experiencing the Black Rage, is starting to go through the stages where he can't hide it anymore, because all Blood Angels are affected by it, but they're able to pretty much suppress it, and they can go their entire service from the time they're made in Astartes until several hundred years later without succumbing to the Black Rage once, or even approaching it, or even being overly affected by it. But others are drastically affected by it to the point where they eventually get set to the point where they're about to actually fall into that. And once they actually fall into the Black Rage and can't, mentally get out again, they're a danger to literally everyone around them. Because it doesn't matter if they're fighting a 20-foot tall Xeno, it doesn't matter if they're fighting a 4'5", rebel. It doesn't matter if they're fighting a Carnifex, this massive Tyranid bioform. It doesn't matter if they're fighting orcs. It doesn't matter if they're fighting Traitor. Well, it kind of matters if they're fighting Traitor Astartes. They will always, always, always just be mentally. They're like having a flashback and fighting in that flashback. And everyone around them is going to be part of that flashback. So, at the point a Blood Angel gives in to the Black Rage, well, give in isn't a good term, but can't resist it anymore. They are a liability to everyone around them because everyone that they see is a potential enemy, and they're not fighting the people that are actually in front of them. They're fighting the traitors who were trying to siege Terra and kill the Emperor, and they're also fighting Horus Lupercal. And they're always in that mental state. Moving on. So basically, this chaplain does a good job of kind of, letting this guy know, hey, look, you're not alone. You're not the only one that's ever gone through this. But the reason this Space Marine is probably having a problem with this is because he doesn't want to be seen as that liability. He doesn't want to eventually have to go to something called the Death Company, which be terrible for him, but at the same time kind of an honor. But at the same time will be terrible for him. He does not want to be seen as a liability, but that is quickly what he's going to probably become because he's apparently losing the battle in his head, and the chaplain can tell that. Now, the chaplain brought up that this guy was in something called, the Death Watch. Oh, wait a minute. Am I an idiot? One second. Let me make sure I'm right. So I was right. This guy was a part of the Death Watch. Now, the Death Watch is a specialized team of Marines, a specialized group of Marines that are pulled from all sorts of different chapters. You got your Blood Angels, you got your Space Wolves, Salamanders, you've got the Celestial Lions, you got the Black Templars, you've got the Minotaurs, you got all of them being pulled into one area, and they train together and they fight together and learn the ins and outs of everyone's chapter. And they're organized into kill teams. They're usually sent to extremely hostile regions. So that was that, if you didn't know what that was. And moving on. And this, I don't know if you guys have been able to tell, but I absolutely love the ships of 40k. And this is a strike cruiser. This is an Adeptus Astartes strike cruiser. Moving on. This I don't recognize the model, but this is most definitely some sort of tender. It's not a battleship, I don't think. I do not think this is any kind of a warship whatsoever. I think this is a tender that is doing refuel and resupply. Now, these, on the other hand, they look like Imperial Navy assets. A couple of cruisers. I think that's a Luna, and I'm not sure what the other class is, but the one in the background back here, that's probably a battleship. Let's see. What else is there? There's just... everything is so well done. But, yeah. Moving on. Now, I can't wait to see how they portray her character. Her. That's who I want. I want to see how they portray her. The reason they're calling her shipmistress instead of captain. This goes all the way back to the Horus Heresy, where the lead officer of a ship, because Space Marine leadership is called captains, they didn't want to confuse the two. So, the de facto captain, well, not the de facto, the actual captain of the ship is usually called shipmaster or shipmistress, just to avoid the confusion of, Space Marine captains versus fleet captains. But that's just a couple of things. I mean, there's really, I could go on for quite a bit about things, but that's just a couple of things that I wanted to throw out there. In any case, I can't wait to see this come out. I can't wait to see what all is going to be in this. I'm actually really excited to see how this goes. In any case, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I have a Discord, and you can jump in there and make requests if you'd like, and I also have a Patreon. With all that being said, I'll catch you guys next time, and have a good Monday, because I'm going to try to.